Bungie has responded to the immense backlash from the Destiny 2 community in regards to their time gating insanity for Rite of the Nine. DMG, the community manager, posts on Twitter saying, "Hey all, out sick today, but will say the team is well aware of your feedback." Well, I'm sure you are, considering it's top trending on Twitter and Reddit. I mean, how could you miss it, right? Comms, thank you all for chiming in. Only Bungie would say thank you all for chiming in as if we're beta testers and not paying players, right? We'll take a closer look into going into the Edge of Fate on how we can tighten up the delivery of info. If you don't know what they're talking about, they have messed up the delivery of various different info pieces that were actually kind of important in regards to the TWID and other things, right? They're doing this, sit on the couch stream style, and a lot of people are advocating more for something like a Vidoc, something that's a little more professional and a little more refined, because misinformation is definitely frustrating. Pretty much everyone thought that we were getting Ghost of the Deep with its Rite of the Nine rework today, so it was going to be a really fun challenge. Instead, we just got Spire, which is very uninspiring, and everyone just wants to play something else because we got to play it for the entirety of last week. We got to grind the activity, and so it's lost its shine, right? It'll come back in rotation theoretically in 4 weeks from now, but we were really hoping for Ghosts. Keeping things punchy, but also give appropriate room to dive through features to answer some questions. Rite of the Nine dates. Now we actually get an answer. Finally, some clear communication. Dungeons are currently slated to be 3 weeks at a time. Okay, so we've got 3 weeks for Spire, and then it'll be 3 weeks of Ghosts, and then finally 3 weeks of Prophecy, with one final week, which is going to be all of them made available. So be mindful of that. Each of them will be all available at the final week. Now, why we couldn't do 1 week of Spire, 1 week of Ghosts, 1 week of Prophecy, and then 7 weeks of them all being available, I don't know, but this is Bungie's time gating insanity, like we talked about, where they try their very best to exhaust the Destiny 2 player base as much as possible, and we've all seen through this, all right? We understand what they're trying to do now, and it's just frustrating, okay? We know that Ghosts is currently finished and playable, largely due to hackers out there. Hackers in some way are able to get into it already and get the weapons. I don't know how they're able to do this, or what, I don't know how they're able to pull this off, but they're able to, right? We've seen various different clears of Ghosts, and people have a bunch of the weapons, so it's ready to go. It's just they're time gating us so that way people can play a bunch of Spire for 3 weeks, and then, wow, there's something new, Ghost, and we'll play that for 3 weeks, and then Prophecy, and then the very last week, right? Now they go on to say, and as you saw today, new quests will be going live with weekly resets for a bit to help folks get some of the hollow foils and exotics too. So their method for the 3 week time getting instead of 1 week is that they're going to give you some quests along the way, which, again, time getting that is a little bit silly. It does, I guess, give you something to do, but you could just give us all the quests up front. There's really no need to do this. This is obviously just, content drip to the maximum, right? And this is kind of the first time that Bungie has pushed this, because right now in Destiny 2, everything is on a weekly rotation. And that's the way it worked for Pantheon, which is kind of what this activity is meant to be, right? It's like Pantheon, but for dungeons, and not particularly dungeon encounters, but the entirety of a dungeon. And Pantheon was received so well. Everyone loved Pantheon so much that Bungie said, hey, what if we cooked up something exactly like Pantheon, but we made it suck ass instead? And so they decided to time gate the whole damn thing. If anything changes, we'll be sure to let you know. All right, this is the part where I think people are going to start to get upset, because not only do things need to change, you should be urgently trying to change things. You should be saying, hey, we're going to talk with the team and we're going to see about getting that changed, if that's possible with our current timeline. If Bungie says it's not possible, that's fine. At least they tried. They tried to listen to the community and give us the feedback that we're looking for, instead of sort of pandering here and saying, well, if anything changes, yeah, we'll let you know, we'll shoot you a message or something. It's like, don't do that. And respond to what people are actually saying, the feedback that you are supposedly listening to. Please don't hesitate to continue giving feedback. We've seen a ton of great anecdotes from the new difficulty settings, but also open to hear what you're having friction with as well. Team is already making sure this info gets into TWIDs and wider comms sources. So there it is. We have a feedback from DMG. Now, I, at this point in time, have the top trending comment on here with the most likes, and I think it very well represents what the community feels in regards to the situation. So here's what I said. Here's my genuine feedback, and I meant this. Don't timegate stuff like this again in the future. Even if the communication was clear, this is an exhausting method of content delivery. It feels trivial when we could just be playing Ghost this week. And as you can see, people quite agree with this sentiment to a large degree. Let me know what you think about this down in the comment section below. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on the news, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.